All right. So, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Renee, and I am a program specialist at Girl Scout Spirit of Nebraska. And you are watching Travel the World with Girl Scout Destinations as a part of our Girl Scouts at Home project and for Global Week. Thanks for watching. We hope you're healthy and staying safe. And we're glad you can join us today. And hopefully, it reminds you that you're a part of a global movement of girl leaders and the adults that support them. Today, we're going to be learning and hearing about Girl Scout destinations. And some people are not super familiar with them. So a Girl Scout destination, just as a quick rundown, are usually planned by councils or travel companies like EF Tours. There's an application required. Usually there's 2 rounds of applications, one in November and one in February. They're both domestic and international trips, so you can travel in the US or you can go anywhere in the world. They're for cadet seniors and ambassadors, and they're for all Girl Scouts in the United States or USA GSO. That's Girl Scouts overseas. And they're for individual girls only, not for troops. So that's a little bit of an explanation for what a Girl Scout destination is. And today we're going to hear from 2 girls from Nebraska who have traveled on destinations. They're both named Maddie, which is exciting. Maddie W and Maddie C. And they're going to share about their trips. And so Maddie C has been on 2 trips, which is awesome. And she's got a ton of pictures. So we'll see if we can make it through them all.
Sorry.
So let's, no, it's good. So I'm going to share my screen so you all can see the pictures. Okay, can you see them? Maddie, see?
No.
Okay, we'll give it a minute. I think it's starting.
Oh, now I can.
Okay, great. So take it away, Maddie C. Tell us a little bit about your trips and then about your pictures.
Okay. Hi, I'm Maddie C, as you all know. Um, so my trip was to, well, my first trip was to Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands. This is a picture of our passports that we took during one of our layovers, because why not? Oh, okay. This was a picture of the town I was in. This was Quito, Ecuador. And I don't remember the name of it, but the statue that's up there is kind of like a big deal there.
So what you went to Ecuador, and then where else did you go?
The Galapagos and Peru.
Okay, so we'll be hearing about both those places.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm curious about this picture.
So I didn't actually know how to eat passion fruit. I thought it was like a mango or something, so I actually bit into it on accident. And I decided, oh, this is fun. I'll like share my mistakes with Snapchat, 'cause why not?
So for people who don't know about passion fruit, what does it taste like? What did you think of it?
It was really gooey. Like it wasn't bad, but I was more of just confused. Like I didn't really know what to think of it.
Yeah.
So that's me standing on the equator.
Oh, cool.
That's just a selfie of me again standing on the equator. Those are a picture of some guinea pig because like they're native there. And they just had those guys and I thought they looked cute. So that was one of the challenges that they had us try to do on the equator. I was trying to balance an egg on top of a nail.
So what was this like who put this together, this challenge or activity that you were doing?
It was actually the people that the equator is basically like a tourist type attraction there. So like the people that work there had it set up already.
Okay.
So that's a map of some of the islands that I got to go to. I did not go to all of those. I wish I could have though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this like a large area or are these pretty tiny islands?
They're pretty large.
Okay.
At least I think they are. So that is a picture of a sea lion that I saw before we went snorkeling. And I thought he looked cute, so I took a picture of him. That's a sea turtle that swam past me while we were snorkeling.
Oh,
That's me attempting to take a picture that ended up being blurry while we were snorkeling.
and we have a question. Did you go with your troop or on your own?
I went on my own. There actually weren't any troops there. It was all a bunch of individual girls.
What councils were they from, or where were they from?
I don't know what councils, but I know that we had a couple of girls from Texas and California.
Yeah, it's a great place to meet girls from all over the place.
We still keep in contact with each other and like communicate over Snapchat and whatnot. That's another sea turtle. So that's how far away I was compared to my mom. And that's a picture of the island I was on.
Mm. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the one.
Like, there's my mom, and then there's me at the bottom.
That's cool.
That's a mom and a baby sea lion that I saw on the beach one time while we were getting a tour. That's me and a random sea lion in the background.
Do you really like sea lions or?
Yeah, I think they're pretty cute. I was more excited about the blue-footed boobies, if I'm being honest. So that's me while we were in Santa Cruz. And they
What
had
did
this giant sign, so I was like, okay.
what did you do in Santa Cruz? Is that like a special trip or were you there for a couple days?
Um, with all of the islands, we were there for like a couple of days. So I was there for a couple of days and like we did touristy type stuff. That's the mom and the baby sea lion again. That's a crab and a sea lion. I just thought it looked funny because it looks like the crab's about to go bother it. And that's a group of the blue-footed boobies.
So
That
what's the importance of the blue-footed boobies?
the importance of the blue-footed boobies. They are important because they are native only to the Galapagos. So it's like very rare that you'll see one in your lifetime unless you go there.
Oh,
And also, my volunteer job out at Rose Sanctuary kind of made me into like a little bit of a bird freak. So like I get excited when I see like different kinds.
cool. There's another question here. How long was your trip to the Galapagos?
It was 14 days long.
Okay, 14 days.
That's more boobies. That's a piece of volcanic rock that I found on one of the islands, Isabella Island, that we were on, and I just thought it was really cool because, like, I'm from Nebraska, so there's like no volcanoes whatsoever. It was also erupting while we were there on our hike, so we had to completely change our entire hike that day.
Wow.
That's a group of iguanas, though, that we saw during our walk or whatever. I just thought it was funny because I didn't think that reptiles were necessarily social.
Yeah.
That guy was just posing, so I decided that he wanted a picture taken. That's a shark that we also saw while we were walking. That's some coral from that same island because part of it used to be underwater, so all the rocks that you see in that picture are actually dried up coral. All the white things are. So that's my friend and I's flippers from when we were snorkeling and we made jokes that she was a blue-footed booby while I was a red-footed booby. That's me being egotistical and taking a selfie while snorkeling. That's a starfish that I saw while I was snorkeling. That's a sea cucumber and some sea urchins. And I had never seen one in real life. That's
Yeah.
another sea lion.
So did they just roam about, like
Yeah,
on the beaches?
yeah, they're kind of like stray dogs there. They just go wherever and no one really says anything.
Did they get into the city areas or do they stay pretty close to the water?
They sometimes will be in like the city-ish areas. There was one of them that got onto our ferry once, so we had to wait a while before we could get on.
So how did they get it off?
They kind of just tried to shoo it off like you would with a dog,
Yeah.
like telling it to leave. So that's Charlie. He was the lizard that was in our hotel room. He was my friend
How did you know it was the same lizard the whole time?
because I don't know, I just sort of assumed because it looks the same. I was like, oh, okay. That's a flamingo that I saw while we were on our wetland hike because we couldn't do our volcano hike that we were going to do because the volcanoes were rude and just decided we're just going to erupt while she's trying to have a good trip. That's a bird that I saw while I was there. I can't remember what it's called, but it's another one that's local there. That's a tortoise because we got to go to the Charles Darwin Research Center, so we got to see like the part of it where they were like trying to conserve and like save the tortoises.
Did you do some volunteering there or just a visit?
Just a visit. We got to learn about it though, so that was cool.
Hmm.
Those are all the baby tortoises that I saw. And I thought they looked cute. That's a tortoise that was attempting to escape. That's me in a tortoise shell. Because I got
That's
told Maddie, take a picture.
hilarious.
That's me with a tortoise.
Is this a special tortoise?
Not really. He was just one that was sort of like walking by and just was standing there nicely, so we all got pictures while we still could.
Okay.
They were just kind of roaming everywhere. Like some parts
Yeah.
were gated, some parts weren't. That's me by Otavalo, which is just outside of this marketplace that I got to go while I was in Ecuador.
Okay. And this was the different trip from the Galapagos?
No, it was all the same trip.
Okay. Ecuador and the Galapagos.
Yeah.
This is the video.
Yeah. It's just me showing how the market looked. There was like a lot of random corners of different things. And it was mostly like handmade stuff. and people would try really hard to bargain with you or get you to buy things because that's like,
That's how they do it there. Americans are not very good at that usually, though.
so that is one food that I unfortunately ate while I was there. Earlier, as I said, guinea pigs are native there. So,
Is that a guinea pig?
yes,
Ah,
I
how
felt
did it?
bad because the guy
How,
that made it came up to us and was smiling and stuff. And I was like, thanks. So that's all of us waiting in the airport during another really long layover because there was a tropical storm nearby. So it like took a while for some of us to be able to get home. So we were all just trying to find something to do.
yeah.
Me trying said guinea pig.
So that's the guinea pig is called koi.
I can't pronounce it, but yeah.
Okay.
That's all of us at the equator.
Okay. So that was a pretty small group then.
Yeah. We
That's
all got
nice
to
that
know each other pretty well though. So
yeah. Then you get to get to know each other and make friends.
I honestly don't know why we were doing this thing, but
This looks like slacklining.
I don't even know what it is. I just got told to get up there and I got up there.
Did you walk by yourself or did you have
No,
someone?
my friend was
Okay.
helping me. I don't know if you can see her off to the side, but like she was
Yeah.
holding my hand and helping me cross because I just couldn't figure it out. So those are some penguins that were in the Galapagos. And I thought they looked cute too, so that's a random pot that I just found funny that was at one of the restaurants in Peru.
Yeah, it looks like a little guy.
I know, Mom. So that's a guy that we got to see dance for us while we were in Peru. We had like this dinner and a show type thing where they showed us dances from like different parts of Peru. I don't remember what part he was from though, or what parts any of them were from. That's more dancers. That's me with a weird potato. Welcome to Peru. So those are some of the different seeds and different types of quinoa that they have in Peru.
So this is now we're into your second trip.
Yes, sorry, I should have said.
Okay, that's fine.
So that is me and some of the other girls with some girl guides learning their games and songs while we were there.
Oh, so you got to meet girl guides from Peru.
Yeah,
Oh, that is so cool.
that's some soup that I got to try while I was there. That's the dessert that I had that day. And I
That's
thought it
delicious.
looked bougie, so I took a picture of it. So we were walking back from getting a tour of this one chapel, and there were just some people dancing outside, and I thought, oh, that's fun. So I took a picture of it. That's more of the people from the restaurant that I went to dancing. Those are some children that had put together this dance for us. We were there helping fix their playground and we're donating school supplies. That's me with some of the kids. So that is me in some Aztec ruins. Is it Aztec? Sorry, Incan ruins. I know everyone's going to get mad at me. So we actually got to participate in a Mother Earth ceremony at the Sun Gates of Peru. And that was the guy guiding our ceremony, and he has all the things that were involved in that.
So what's the purpose of that ceremony?
It's kind of like to thank the earth and all the gods that they believe in, and was like blessing us for our travels and like wishing us good luck or whatever.
Oh,
Kind of like their
kind-
version of praying for us, but just in a different religion.
yeah, that was kind of them.
Yeah. That's me by some more ruins. So there's all of us by the playground equipment after we got done fixing it and painting it. That's just me being weird. When I saw an alpaca eating, I decided to try to impersonate it. That is some more plants that are local there. I just thought it was cool how they all look different, so I took a picture of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some cocoa beans that we actually ended up making our own chocolate with.
How do you do that? How do you make your own chocolate with cocoa beans?
So it was actually really more difficult than I thought. But they have like this grinder thing that like you're supposed to grind it by hand or whatever. And it's kind of like a meat grinder, I guess, but like for beans. So you would put the cocoa beans and then you would put in sugar and like you would just grind it and like that's it.
And then you have chocolate.
Yeah. So that is one of the mountains that I saw in Peru. And I just thought it looked really pretty. So I took a picture of it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Those are some alpacas that I saw while we were hiking up one of the mountains there. That's me and one of the chaperones while we were hiking up said mountain. So that is me at some of, I don't remember the name of it, Salt Pans, I think is the right name. But this is where they make natural salt. So like they grow their own salt there, and this is all the different pools of salt that they have. So that is actually where the Incas would make sacrifices sometimes. They would have sacrifices, some sacrifice places similar to these ones. That's me taking a selfie of myself on Machu Picchu.
Mm-hmm.
That's a picture of while I was on Machu Picchu of some of the ruins I had been on, but like from really far away. Those are some llamas being sassy. And I liked their energy. So that's some more ruins. That is me by a place where you would put different offerings. Kind of like how the three wise men brought Jesus frankincense and myrrh. That's like they have a specific place where they would put things like that.
Cool.
That is actually a place where they would have like different gardening type things. Like in those little step things, they would have like different types of plants growing and stuff. So that is actually some potatoes that I ate while I was there. And
The dark green stuff is potato.
yeah, and the things that are sticking straight up, like the breadstick looking things, were actually fish sticks. It
Did you
sounds,
like it?
but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Fish and potatoes.
Yeah, that's like a thing there. I don't know why, it just is. So that is actually a dessert that I tried while I was there. All of the brown stuff on the bottom is kind of like a bunch of cookie crumbles. The green stuff is ice cream. And the two ball-like looking things were actually filled with fudge. So after I opened it, it just kind of like melted. So that's a picture of where my mom is compared to where I was. That's me and all of the girls by an Incan ruin. That's the guy that was leading us in his religion again. There's us painting some more playground equipment. There's us right before going on one of our hikes. That's us on part of the Machu Picchu Trail.
That's a nice picture.
I thought so. So there's a picture of us from far away hiking up one of the mountains. That's more people dancing.
I think that's it.
All right, cool.
So, what do you think? Would you recommend that girls apply for destinations, and why?
I would recommend that girls apply for destinations because it gives you opportunities that you normally wouldn't be able to get. And you get to meet people that you normally wouldn't get to meet, and it just overall is a positive experience.
What was it like traveling by yourself?
Well, for me, it was kind of scary because I had never traveled alone before, but it was like exciting at the same time.
So after you came home after traveling by yourself, like, were you proud of yourself? Like, what was that? Did you want to do it again?
I was proud of myself and I did want to do it again, but mostly I was tired because there were a lot of complications with my flight, so I didn't get home until like midnight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on to our next speaker, Maddie W., the other Maddie. So thank you, Maddie C. Maddie W., if you want to unmute yourself and tell us a little bit, I'm working on pulling up your pictures here. So if you just want to talk a little bit about your trip, that would be great. You are still muted. There you go. Wait, no. Oh yeah, you're good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, hi everybody. I'm Maddie. I'm from Syracuse. Yeah, and I'm currently a sophomore at UNL. So finishing up school there. And so 2 years ago, I went to Germany. And it was the first time I've ever traveled out of the country. So it was a really cool experience. I chose Germany because it's where my family's from, essentially. And I've always wanted to go to Germany, and I've heard really cool things about it. And so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to go. There are so many destinations to other countries, though. So the options are really unlimited. Okay, so I'll just talk about some of these pictures real fast. I don't have as many, but hopefully you'll still get a glimpse into my trip through some of these. So this is three of the other girls that were on the trip with me. So one of the girls is from Maryland. One of them is from Washington, D.C., and then the other one is from Texas. And so if I remember correctly, there were a lot of people from Texas on the trip. which I thought was very interesting. But so I still keep in contact with some of these girls too. This picture was actually taken when we were at Zug's. It's hard for me to pronounce. I think it's called Zugspitze, which either way, it's the tallest point in Germany. And so we took a train and like hiked up these mountains to get to this landing. So this actually, we're not at the tallest point. You actually have to go essentially rock climbing to get to the top, and it was kind of dangerous. So we did not do that, but that's the landing of where it is. And then there was, while we were up there on the other side, there was this pretty lake with trees all around it and stuff. So it was really a cool place. This was actually right before we got caught in a hailstorm up there. So we were all frantically running inside because since you are so far up, it makes being in a hailstorm there a lot more dangerous. So luckily we all got inside before it did start hailing though. Okay, so this is a picture of a traditional German meal. This is Schnitzel, which is basically like a fried pork chop, essentially. And so once we found this, this was kind of if you didn't want to try anything else, you knew that this was the safe option. So this was really good. Some people had I think it's called Spatzel, something like that, which is basically like German mac and cheese. And so that was really good too. I did end up trying that, but this is Schnitzel and it's actually pretty good.
What's some of the other stuff on the plate there? I mean, I see French fries, but what are the yellow and the thing in the
um,
cup?
yeah, so the thing in the cup is cranberry sauce. I did not put that on it. I tried one of it and it's very, very sweet. Um, I feel like it's sweeter than cranberry sauce in the US. And then the thing in the little yellow pouch is a lemon.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And we did get a question. Were you able to visit where the Berlin Wall used to stand?
Where?
The Berlin Wall?
Oh, we did not visit that.
Okay.
This picture is of a traditional, they call it a medieval German town. It's called, Rothenburg. Sorry, the name slipped my mind. And so this town has a wall around the outside of it from the medieval times. It's been there since like, if I remember correctly, it was like 1200 or something like that. It was been there a very long time. But you can kind of see some of the traditional German architecture through like some of the houses and the buildings and everything. And so I thought this was really cool that you can walk around the town. This wall has like a little path through it. And so we did that for a little bit, but the town was kind of big. So we didn't go around the whole town, but that was really cool to see. So this is another traditional German meal. So having a brat with a pretzel is pretty common there. Also, I didn't really know this, but hot chocolate is a very popular drink to have at lunch. I didn't realize that until everybody kept offering it to us at lunchtime. And then they were like, yeah, most people have hot chocolate or coffee at lunch every day. And so that was something that we had. The two little sauces, I don't really know what they are, but I did not prefer them, but I know some people did.
But you tried them?
Yes, I did try them.
Good. That's the important thing of traveling is trying the food. You may not like it, and that's all right. That's life, though, I suppose. You gotta try it once.
Right. So this is a picture of Castle Neuschwanstein. It's where King Ludwig II resided during his time. we actually got to tour the inside of the castle as well, but you couldn't take pictures, which was kind of sad. But it was really cool to see all the architecture and how everything was still really well preserved from that time. And so then this picture was taken. We hiked up this hill. Uh, it took us like an hour and a half to hike up this hill. It was kind of crazy, but once we got up there, it was totally worth it because the view of the castle was really pretty. And then on the other side, there was this really big waterfall that like fell into a river that kind of wove its way through the trees. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but it was really pretty up there. And you could also overlook the town. I don't remember exactly the town that it was, but you could also see this guy's brother's castle too. So yeah, this was probably one of my favorite parts, was getting to see this castle. So this picture, so on the trip we went to Germany, and then we also visited Salzburg, Austria. And so this is a picture of Salzburg. The countries are very similar to each other, and so the city architecture is very similar. If you look on top of the hill in that picture, there is another castle that we did end up going to visit, but it wasn't as it's not as big of a tourist site as the other one. It wasn't as well preserved, but it was still really cool to see. There was so many different rooms, and it's crazy to think of what they all put in there, but that was really cool. There was a big gate around it too, and so we got to explore that for a little bit. So this is a picture of me when this is actually the first day that we were there. This is overlooking the Olympic grounds in Munich. So the Olympics were held in Munich in 1972, and so the grounds are all still there. So you can kind of see part of the golf course, but when we were going around, you could see where all the athletes stayed, and there was like tennis courts, and I mean all kinds of everything. And then there was this big stadium that we saw, and so that was really cool to see. Munich basically rearranged everything in order to put all these Olympic grounds here. Now they are not used anymore. They were only used for the Olympics, and so they're just kind of there for sightseeing, which I thought was kind of cool. But it was very interesting to see that. I'd never seen Olympic grounds before. So this is the town hall in Munich. It was in like the city square, and so the architecture on it is very, very intricate, which I thought was really cool. It does play some music at the top of every hour, and then at the top of the tower, there's these little figures that just spin around in circles, and so that was really cool to see. We didn't go inside, but yeah, it was just in this city square that there was like shops and everything surrounding it. And so if you didn't know it was the city hall, you probably would just think it was a really pretty building, but it was actually the town hall.
Do you know when this was built?
I do
Learn
not
that?
exactly remember.
That's pretty, it's beautiful, and that's a cool clock.
Yeah. So this is a picture of the Dachau Memorial Site. And so this specific picture is representing where the barracks were. So each little rectangle was a barrack, or yeah, however you say that word. But so when we were there, we also got to see like the admissions building, for lack of a better word. And we got to visit a crematorium, and then there was multiple like memorial places throughout the site. And so it was a very humbling experience to go there and to see like what people went through and everything. We had a guided tour, and so they were able to explain a lot more to us. But I don't know, it was very yeah, it was very humbling. It was very neat to see that, all of that, and just actually walk through grounds that used to be a site for during the Holocaust. So yeah.
Concentration camp.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I led a trip to Japan and we went to Hiroshima. And I imagine it's a similar feeling, or it's very somber
Mhm.
and
Yes.
historical, so you're learning a lot, but it's just kind of sad and difficult, and it takes a while to
Mhm.
process that. It does when you
Yeah, it
go
really does.
see these kinds of places, but I think it's important and it's good place for us to visit. So,
Mhm.
all right, I think that is your last picture.
Perfect.
So, what about you? Would you recommend that girls travel on a destination and why?
Yeah, so I would really recommend girls to, if you have an opportunity to travel on a destinations trip, um, it's really a growing experience for you. You get to go places that you haven't gone before. You get to meet new people. There's new experiences and challenges every day. Like every day presented a new challenge, and um, I mean, even just trying to get there and get back can be a challenge sometimes with flights and stuff. And so just all of these new things, it's really it also puts things into perspective for how other cultures work and everything, and go experience a new culture. And I mean, personally, I'm from a very small town, and so kind of like getting out um, to go to other like big places is pretty cool too. So um, yeah, I would really recommend people go on them.
All right. Uh, Thank you, Maddie W and Maddie C. I'm gonna do share a few quick things. So for anyone who's considering going on a Girl Scout destination, I'm gonna show you the website. This is a GSUSA website, but this is all the kinds of trips that you can take. Um, a lot of these trips are at risk of being canceled this summer, but you can kind of see the variety of trips. There's Thailand, India, here's a domestic one, biomedical engineering, tall ship sail school, rodeo girls, backpacking. What I think is awesome about destinations is that there's a trip for like every kind of girl. No matter what your interest is, there's probably a trip that you're going to think is amazing. So there's a curtain call in London, astronomy. There's so many of them. Space Academy. We had two girls travel to Space Academy last summer. China, Mongolia, horseback riding, Mongolia. I mean, I know we have a lot of girls to do horseback riding in Nebraska. And then also there are trips available planned for 2021 already, so you can check those out, and there will be more coming, including hopefully one from our own council, but we'll see how that turns out. And then, yeah, so we have, there are lots of ways to pay as well. There's multiple um, financial assistance, even from Spirit of Nebraska, but you can also get it from the place that you're traveling. Sometimes your trip specifically might have a scholarship. And so that's okay. So that's mostly what I wanted to share about destinations today. And then I just had a couple quick reminders that I wanted to share about this week. So we're kind of kicking off a globally themed week here at Spirit of Nebraska. And there are several programs that you're going to want to listen to if um, you are interested in global stuff. So we're traveling the world with Girl Scout destinations. Tomorrow, how to participate in global Girl Scouting without buying a plane ticket. And then on Thursday morning, personal stories of the Girl Scout World Centers. So there are 5 Girl Scout World Centers around the world, and we're going to hear about all 5 of them, including Kusafiri in Africa. I'm really excited about that. And then Thursday afternoon, Nebraska goes to the United Nations. So we're going to hear from some girls who were supposed to attend a United Nations event with Girl Scouts in March. And then Friday morning interview with GSUSA's Director of Global Girl Scouting, Ajwa. So these are all programs we'll have this week. In addition to Spirit of Nebraska, GSUSA is offering some cool global opportunities. So this is their calendar online, the Girl Scouts at Home calendar. So they have some space and astronomy programs tomorrow, but on Wednesday, there's a virtual tour of our chalet and our cabana. And then Girl Scouts around the world, there's 2 special calls, Girl Scouts overseas, and so you can attend those as well if you want to, sign up for those. So that is a little bit about what we have coming up this week. And I think that's it for today. I want to say thank you again to Maddie C and Maddie W for coming on and sharing about their trips with us. And yeah, stay tuned to our social media and our website for more global content this week. It'll be awesome. All right.